In this unit, we are supposed to cover following topics. Post World War II world order was largely held as the international institutions that were built with the leadership of US. In trade, WTO and UNCTAD. In development, World Bank. And in finance, IMF was fulfilling the requirement of the world. But now, in 21st century, we have seen a transformation and the rise of China as an economic power. And besides that, it is giving one new orientation to the institutions such as UN and WHO. That's why in this world we are supposed to analyze the environment of cross national cooperation, regional economic integrations, and the new initiatives taken by the countries such as China. China has worked as a reformer and the creator of new global economic institutions such as Belt Road Initiative. Hence, it is imperative to analyze the cross-national environment and agreements and the state of tariff and non-tariff barriers in these agreements. If we discuss about the approaches to the economic integration, we can categorize these approaches into three parts. For example, global integration, and the example is WTO, bilateral integration, and the regional integration, and the example is NAFTA that has been converted into USMCA. Starting from the bilateral agreements, that is generally between two countries. It can be between a group of nation and another individual country. For example, European Union and Brazil. And after that, one next step is that is a regional economic integration that is generally found between two neighboring nations due to the cultural similarity, less distance, and the common history and other similar interest. But in this contemporary environment, we have experienced different regional economic integration, especially the bilateral agreements, intercontinents, such as one agreement between Nigeria and Israel recently, and one another one in the name of Belt Road Initiative between China and European Union, and many more agreements in the name of Health Silk Road between China and Eurasian countries. Regional economic integration generally start from the free trade agreements in which nations agrees to eliminate all tariff and non-tariff barriers. And if it is about the free trade agreement, as I cited earlier, the NAFTA. NAFTA was, let's say, surely a free trade agreement in which there was no tariff and non-tariff barriers. So after that, the countries moved to the custom union in which they eliminate all tariff, non-tariff barriers. Plus, the nations will put one common external tariff for the non-member countries, and at last, it becomes a common market in which there is an elimination of tariff and non-tariff barriers, plus common external tariff, plus free flow of labor and capital among member nations, such like European Union. But there are some issues when implements these common markets and trade unions, and time by time countries are looking for the alternatives, and after that they put into some other agreements with another nations. In the introductory lectures of the course, I discussed about the protectionism and the populist principle of the respective governments like Brazil, China, India, and US. So basically, what these nations are doing, they have developed their self initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Made in China initiative, Make in India. So basically, these all initiatives are targeting at the protectionist measures, and it is restricting the free flow of the goods and services. When our country is thinking to extend its market operations beyond the domestic boundaries, then they have to select the target countries. And the state of the regional economic integration helps in taking these decisions, because if the countries are in a free trade agreement or other forms of regional economic integration, automatically there will be favorable terms of trade between the countries, and it will help the companies to take better decisions.